Hi, fellow traders. Man, what a Friday the 13th. This thing came out of nowhere. I had no idea we were going to get what we got today. And a lot of you guys, a lot of you members, I think, thought the same thing because by lunchtime, a lot of you were gone. Over half of you had gone already. But that's when the market woke up. And that's when it gave us the opportunity. And man, did we take advantage of it. I love days like today. I love trades like like I had today. This is what I look for every day. We may get a base hit, we may get a double, but we take those because there's going to be a day where we get a home run. Every time we go up to bat, we're just looking to make contact. But sometimes we get that home run, and today was a really nice home run trade. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But the focus going into 2020 is going to be having no limits. And what that means is the limits that we put on ourselves. It's not going to be the limitations other people put on us that's going to prevent us from succeeding. It's probably going to be the limitations that we put on ourselves because we don't believe enough in ourselves, or we are always having reservation about this and reservation about that, and we don't put the work in that we need to put in. So, and the latest, I checked last night, the latest numbers, and this is scary because we have so many trading education things out there now, but the percent of people failing who try to become day traders is at 98% now. It was at 90%. I mean, not 98%, 92%. It was at 90 when I started in 2014. It's up to 92% now. And we have all of these educational services and everything. But the reason why it's like that, the reason why the numbers are growing, is because everybody is teaching you how to be successful at making a trade or how to make successful trades. Nobody is teaching you how to maintain that success, how to keep it over a long period of time, how to be consistent with it, so that you can either make a living or continue to supplement your income as you grow. That's the disconnect. And it's not popular. Obviously, it's not popular, but it's what it takes. And it's the reason why everybody's failing, because everybody's running to the numbers, looking for the easy strategy, looking for this to be easy, looking for that to be easy. And it's not. And we're putting these limitations on ourselves because we don't believe that we can do this. We need something easy. We need something quick. And then we don't want to put in the work to get where we need. Believe me, it's worth it. All of those nights that I spent, that I fell asleep in the chair in the dining room, is worth it. Because I'm able to do things, and I'm looking forward to when my son graduates and we get him in school good, a lot more freedom. It's there, but we can't put these limits on ourselves. We cannot hold ourselves down with the limits that we put on ourselves. So going into 2020, that's going to be the focus. Again, the only special I'm having during Christmas or for the holidays is the GPS to trading success, which was last year was the roadmap to success. I was told that nobody uses roadmaps anymore. Everybody uses GPS. But me, I'm like, what happens if the cell signal doesn't work? How are you going to find your way now? So I still think there's a place for roadmaps. It's not just because I'm old school and that's where I came from. But either way, this is a guide, a personal guide to get you to consistent profitability. That's what it takes. It's not just how to make winning trades. You have to learn how to keep that money that you do make and how to be consistent in making those winning trades. And that's what this is. But you got to look at what you get for only $250. 6 months, all access to the community. Our new chat room is awesome. And just wait until I'm able to use all of the bells and whistles that it has. You know, I'm still in this transition phase. The other room is still open for the people who are expiring this month. So I'm still in this transition phase. But Monday is going to, we'll be going at it hot and heavy. But I love this new room. I love what it offers. And from what I hear, you guys love it too. But you have access to 6 months, the classes, the recordings. But what I feel is the most valuable is a one-on-one mentoring. 6 hours of that, an hour a month. And you're talking about $250 for 6 hours of somebody's time. Now, I'm worth a hell of a lot more than that. But your success, helping you be successful and helping you realizing the success that I realized, that's important to me. That's important to teachers. That's what lets me know that I still have it in my heart to be a teacher. Even though I'm still teaching new teachers, I'm still doing the classes for them. But this is more like the grind. And I don't know where you can get anything any better. But it may just be me talking. It may be my bias, but that it is what it is. Ooh, AMRN is open. Okay. But that's what we got going on. It's right there on the homepage of my website, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com. AverageJoeTrader.com. But if you need to email me, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. All right, for you members who want to take advantage of the money that you have spent these past years and you want to translate that into the lifetime membership, you got through this weekend. Sunday night is done. Monday morning, I'm squaring everything with the new chat room provider. And so that option will be gone forever. The only other option, lifetime option, is going to be the one through, your paid membership. So if you want to take advantage of it, it's there this weekend. I didn't want to close it out without giving you guys an opportunity to take advantage of it. But Monday morning, we're moving forward. All right, so let's take a look at today. Roku was our trade for today. Again, 3 days in a row. And again, it's all about being patient. And I did have trouble. I know Monday and Tuesday was about trying to make trades, trying to squeeze something out, trading a stock that I really didn't see opportunity in, but I wanted to trade it because I heard those whispers about you need to trade these lower price stocks. But look, I would rather trade 50 shares of a stock that moves $8 than to trade 200 shares of a stock that moves 50 cents. So that's why I like higher price stocks. They put in bigger moves. You could trade smaller share size and still make decent money for your account size. I know it's hard to see that sometimes, but I try to show you that every day. But I had to rededicate myself and say, hey, look, the focus is on trading. You find the stock that's going to fit you and you worry about that, not what other people think, because they need to be learning from you. And if I'm not doing the right things, if I'm not following what I'm teaching you, then I'm doing you a disservice. And so I have to do it. And sometimes you may not like it because it's not giving you what you feel that you need. But you got to know and you got to trust that I'm the teacher. I'm the one that does this. Have been doing it for the last several years. And you got to trust me on it. All right. So we look at Roku. And you see it's set up. The 5-minute opening range high is here. But it's under all of this resistance. So we get the second candle to open. And it blasts through all of this. I'm not going to roll the dice on this, especially at the open and especially knowing how volatile Roku can be at the open. So I waited, and it blew through this, but I'm going to wait for it to come back. This is pretty overextended. So if I bought here, I probably could have gotten a point out of this before it came back and stopped me out. But I wasn't going to go for that. I was going to wait and let's catch the bounce. So this didn't bounce. It sold through. All of that resistance was turning into support. It sold through all that support, came down and bounced, put in a higher low, bounced up again, never did make it to this high, so we could say this is a lower high. And we just kind of consolidated here. But you can see the trend is definitely up. It's still trending up a little bit. So until it broke this trend, there was no trade on this. And that's why we were just watching it and kind of watching it go sideways. If there's no trend, you don't gamble. You don't roll the dice. And this is how you can eliminate a lot of your losing trades. Just by being patient. And if it doesn't set up, or you missed the setup, oh well, let's go to the next one. But you can't have that fear of missing out creeping in. You wait, you know your setups, you know your shot. So we wait for it. And that's what we did today. You can see it bounced here, rejected, made a lower high. And as we came down and we made a lower low relative to this bounce, and we broke this little trend line that I drew, that was the short. That's where we got in. Now, I know the 5-minute opening range low was sitting right here. And I said that if it bounced here and it held up, we were just going to take it off and wait for it to settle up under here. But I took it. It never did really bounce. It did slow down in this area here. But it made it to my first profit target. Well, no, I'm sorry. My first target was 137.50. But because we bounced once, twice, 3 times off this $0.25 mark, the 75 level, I went ahead and took it. I took some off here. It was 25 cents earlier than I wanted to, but it is halfway between my final target and my entry here. So it wasn't a bad cover. But eventually it did get to 50. But at one point I thought I was right because this thing was solid green making a move up. But then it came back in, started selling off, ended up getting my second target. Well, this was the final target, but I decided to split it and just to see how far it would go because it was looking weak. So I took another piece off here on the daily 90, and this is a daily level here. So what 136.85-ish is around where it was, and that's where I took it. I had a bid out of 136.85. It got hit, and it started to sell some more. It held up a little bit, but then it sold down some more, down to 136. I took 25 more shares off. And I'm like, hey, if this thing just keeps going, let's keep it going. So I didn't take it. I was looking to potentially add, and we came up and we rejected and we started to sell, but I couldn't decide whether I wanted to take it or not. And I was like, no, if you're not sure, don't take it, because this was rejecting. I was looking for some more continuation of the trend down, it to break the low and keep going, but this didn't. It bounced again, but this time it made a lower low. I mean a lower high relative to this candle, and once we got under the 9, I was like, it's ready. We're gonna add back, and I added back 125 shares to make it back to my 200 position, and I had all of this resistance above. So I had a big backstop up here and ended up selling. We broke the low. Remember, we don't buy breakouts or breakdowns. That's for the scalpers and the inexperienced traders. No, we need to be in and taking profit on the breakdown. And so we got in. This is a clean rejection. Even though we had this low here, the daily low, this is a clean rejection. And you couldn't help but anticipate the break of the low. It did hit the next target. And we did get a bounce. It looked like this was going to be the floor. And, you know, you saw, if you were still in chat, you saw I took my orders off. And I told you, if we claim the 20, you know, we're done. We just kill the rest of the trade and go on about our business. And it traded above it, but then it closed below this level. The next candle opened here. Never did push the 9. So I felt we were doing pretty good. But we got hung up around here again. But it ended up failing. You can see a lot of selling volume started coming in. And either it was people selling their position that went long here, or that were long trying to get out of their position, or if there were people just selling off. But I was in the car. No, I left. You guys saw I left after I changed everything. I go at 3 o'clock. I go get my son. I was in the car riding. And it was just hitting, and you guys saw it happen if you were still here. But just patience, and this turned into a home run. It looked like we were going to get another base hit like yesterday and then maybe get in later on, but it turned into a freaking home run. And so this is what I try to tell you guys. You may have a couple of bad days. You're going to have one good day that's going to force you to focus every day. It's going to change your focus because you're going to be looking for the entry on moves like this. You're going to be looking to nail the perfect entry on the setup and just wait to hit your targets. And you're not going to think about anything else. Nothing that's going to limit your mind. But really, really nice trade. Nice trend continuation. Something I don't do often, but every now and then I will add back. Most of the time I get stopped out at break even after I add. But, this time it didn't. It pushed up a little bit, but it worked. And we were able to really trade that one trade. This was still the first trade, honestly. All I did was add back. I never closed it out completely. So, believe it or not, this was the same trade from the first time. So, 743.91 is what we brought in today. Home run. 200 shares. Home run. Now, if I was trading 500 shares in my regular account, or I'm trading in my regular account, but if I went to 500 shares like I would normally do, how much profit would this be? And who wouldn't want to make, $1,400 to $2,000 a day? Maybe 1 or 2 days a week, or maybe 2 days, 3 days every 2 weeks. I mean, it's there. We just got to execute. All right, so that's gonna do it. Just real quick, you can see last week we struggled. This the best day, and then turned around and flattened it out. Had a red day on Friday, but I was rushing to get out of town, and I think that affected my trading a little bit. But 741.52 is what we ended last week with. Started this week out red, and Tuesday was a struggle. I think I lost $500 on what was that crazy stock? Spotify. But I made it back on another stock, and that's when I started writing the ship. And we just kind of took what the market gave. You can see quietly ended up with 1564.38 this week. Really, really solid week. If we can get another solid week next week, that'll be great. But Christmas Eve, the market closes at 1. I'm traveling. I'm not going to be here. So I won't be doing screen share or anything on the Tuesday on Christmas Eve. Same thing with New Year's Eve. We'll be traveling. But this will be on the website. I think it's already on the calendar. But that's where we're at. So pretty decent week, pretty decent month going. See if we can crank out another decent week next week, and it's gonna be more the same. Just focus. Whatever stock gives me the best look, the best opportunity, and that's where we're going. Bottom line. So you guys have a great night, a great evening, and a safe weekend. Hopefully it'll be drier than ours, and we'll be back at it first thing Monday morning.